Good afternoon, and welcome to a very special Facebook Live featuring two of the most inspiring members of the Florida Bar, Laura Davis Smith and Alicia Roy. Laura is a board certified marital and family lawyer at Davis, Smith, and Jean in Coral Gables. She is the immediate past president of the South Florida chapter of the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, and she is known as one of the most compassionate and down to earth mentors in the family law section. She was the inaugural recipient of the Melinda Gameau Award, awarded for her inspiration, kindness, and dedication to the section. Alicia Roy is a board certified marital and family lawyer at Sasser, Roy, and Sestero in West Palm Beach. Alicia is a fellow of the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, the International Academy of Family Lawyers, and certified by the National Board of Trial Lawyers. She formerly chaired the Board Legal Specialization and Education, the group governing board certification for all areas in Florida, and is a former chair of the Florida Family Law Section. She is a role model of leadership and has been awarded the 2022 Visionary Award, the 2019 Trailblazer Award by the section. Both are proud mothers, and we are so delighted to have you here today. So, Alicia and Laura, why should lawyers attend this year's trial advocacy program, and where is it?
Well, I think they should attend because we'll both be there, and it's in
That's a
Miami.
great reason. I really think it's important to attend because it's such a great opportunity to interact in a small setting with really amazing lawyers and professionals. Like Laura mentioned, there's two tracks, so you can choose a financial track or a child-related track, and you'll be working directly with experts, both in the accounting field and the psychology field, and lawyers in your workshop rooms. So it's really just a really great opportunity for small group work. And you get a trial credit for board certification, which is great whether you are attempting to get board certified or you already are board certified and need to recertify. So it counts as a trial credit. So I think that that's a really another great reason to attend.
So, Laura, you mentioned scholarships are available. How could a lawyer obtain a scholarship to attend?
That's a great question. So, if you look at the Florida Bar Family Law Section website, there is an application posted on the website, and the application needs to be completed and submitted no later than the end of business on Friday. There are, I believe, 7 available scholarships, and they first come, first serve. If you qualify, I encourage you take advantage. The Family Law Section works very hard to provide these scholarships to allow people from all areas of practice, family law areas of practice. But if you're in legal aid or you're in a private firm, you're on your own, whatever your financial circumstances are, we want you to be able to participate. So I highly encourage, if you think that's something you qualify for, go to the section website and fill that application out and submit it as soon as you can.
And what's really great about it, if you've never attended before, aren't familiar with what it is, you really do take a case from beginning to end, but with people there to help you do that. So you get a fact pattern that lets you know sort of what the case is about. You get evidence that you're going to have to deal with during the case. You get paired with someone, and then you're in a workshop room. It's a lecture-based format and then a workshop-based format. And in the workshop-based format, you actually work with your partner. You get detailed information from the expert, whether it be the psychologist or the forensic accountant that you get to work with. You get tips and feedback from workshop leaders. So each room is led by 2 board certified lawyers. So it really is just this really cool and great opportunity if you feel uncomfortable with trial skills to get sort of your foot in the door, or if you're an accomplished trial lawyer and just need a trial, or just want some feedback or some help and tidbits and topics on how to maybe do something a little different. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, and what's wonderful too is we have not only board certified lawyers, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. As you mentioned, both Alicia and I are board certified. We very much encourage board certification, and we encourage young lawyers, lawyers who have not thought about board certification before, really come find out what it's about. But you get to do a direct across of your witness. You get to then have an expert help you guide testimony of a witness, eliciting cross and direct. And then you also have feedback of judiciary who are also there, and maybe a workshop leader for you, as well as the lawyers who are in, the trenches every day. So it's really very fulfilling, full of educational opportunity, networking, and it's a really meaningful experience.
And Laura and I are uniquely qualified to tell you how amazing this is because she and I have been working on it for probably 20 years, give or take. It's an event that the section puts on every other year, and I think at least one of us has been involved basically every other year since the early 2000s. And my passion for it hasn't really changed, so I really do encourage people to go. Uh, I mean, it's one of my favorite things the section does. I just think it's such a really incredible opportunity. And the scholarships are pretty cool. There's 5 need-based scholarships and 2 diversity-based scholarships. So really just about anyone can qualify that is interested in going, that is worried that maybe they can't afford it or aren't going to be able to do it. And I'm not exactly sure. I think the scholarship covers registration and some contribution to room, correct?
Yes, it does. So, and the fact that it's in Miami this year, it's easy to get to. Even if you are in Orlando, hop on the Bright Line. It's and Miami in July.
Well,
Who
that's a good idea. I
there?
should take the Bright Line. That's smart, Laura.
I mean, we try.
See, we can give good tips on anything, not just trial ad skills.
Well, you both have mentioned that board certification has been a huge part of your careers. So, what advice do you have for lawyers out there who are thinking about becoming board certified?
Just try, go for it. Just, if you need trials, if you are looking at it and you wanted to do it and you're short on trials, reach out to somebody who's board certified. Hey, can I second seat? Can I help you? Take a pro bono case. There's so much pro bono need, right? There's so many cases available. Take that, try these cases. Reach out to Alicia, reach out to me, reach out to anybody who's board certified and ask what would you like tips on. We're happy to share. As Alicia mentioned, she was chair of the BLSE, and so I sit on that committee right now as a board member. And board certification is very close to our hearts. It certainly was instrumental in both of us getting to be where we are as far as leadership in the Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, because we wouldn't be able to do that if we weren't board certified. And studying for the board certification exam is incredibly fulfilling. Not going to lie, it's not an easy test. It's not supposed to be, because it's supposed to test you for, your skill and put you in that upper the upper, not echelon, but to really show judges and clients that you know what you're talking about. So it's challenging, but don't let that intimidate you. Try.
And if you're interested in doing it, I always recommend going to the Florida Bar's board certification website because you can pull up what the requirements are for board certification. Depending upon the time of the year, you can actually download the application. And I think that's a really good place to start. So if you pull up the application, see what the requirements are and start filling it out. Technically it gets filled out online, but even now, because you have to recertify every 5 years, I print out the sheets that are required for the trial requirements and the substantial involvement requirements, and I fill those out as cases close. So it helps me when it comes time to recertify to not have to sort of recreate all those things. But you need 7 trials if you're going to apply for certification. This course counts as one of those. And a trial counts as long hearings as well. It doesn't just have to be an all-day trial. And then you have to have 18 other substantial involvements for a total of 25 cases. And so that substantial involvement is a case where you do more than just somebody comes in and asks you to write a settlement agreement for them. So you have to actually be doing things, doing mandatory disclosure, doing some discovery, maybe taking a deposition or 2, or you maybe had an evidentiary hearing that was short. But that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for people that are active and involved in the practice, that are really getting down and dirty into the cases. And then you apply. And yes, there's a peer review process, and there is the test. And the test really is the thing that weeds people out. And so expect it to be difficult, but that's okay. And then, you'll get to hold yourself out as a specialist in the field of marital and family law, and then apply to the academy to be in. And then you can hang out with Laura and I there.
And people There are people who don't pass the first time, and there's no shame in that because it is a difficult exam. You have to be able to commit, I would say, 100 to 150 hours of studying time. That seems to be the ballpark where people are successful. And meet with your forensic accountant, know what you need to know about business valuation, the financials. You have to know as much as you can about the area. But when you're done studying, you will feel like you know so much. And that is a gift to give yourself, to the judges that you appear in front of, and to your clients.
And I think that's the beauty about this trial ag course is that if you happen to have a practice where you don't deal with a lot of business valuation issues, or maybe that you don't even know what that means, which is okay, this is a great opportunity to like touch your toe into those topics without it mattering because you're not really representing an actual human. And so it's a really great place to learn, and 31.5 credits for CLE. So also as part of the certification process, you have to have a certain amount of CLE credits during the 5 years prior to your application. And so this is a great way to get additional CLE credits. I will tell you, I'm active across the country with CLE, and Florida is bar none has the best opportunities for people to get continuing education credits, especially those that count towards certification. And so quite a few of these credits also count towards certification. So, I mean, it's really like a win-win. There's really no reason not to go.
So, Alicia and Laura, you both are community leaders, absolute powerhouses. Is there anything you'd like to share about your leadership journeys?
Wow.
I
Funny, I just spoke on that. I was just at a seminar in Dallas called the National Family Law Conference that the American Academy puts on. And myself and two other speakers actually spoke on our leadership journey. That was one of the topics. And I would tell you the family law section is probably where my leadership journey really started. And so it's funny, I tell Evan Marks this all the time. Evan Marks was chair of the family law section and gave me an opportunity to serve on a committee about equal time sharing. And that really catapulted me in my leadership career. I just happened to be, I say, in the right place at the right time and a worker bee. So I got this amazing opportunity in legislation, and it just catapulted me. I became chair of the family law section. I got board certified. I got into the academy. I became president of the academy. I had been, just really fortunate to be surrounded by amazing people that helped me be successful. And then I got to bring some other people up with me. That was great.
Yeah. And that's the goal, right? So you mentioned that I was the recipient of the Melinda Gameau Award, and Melinda Gameau, for me, epitomized all the things that a woman lawyer leader should be, because
Amen.
she brought other people along. She was a woman of her word. You could count on what she said. She knew what she was doing, and she encouraged others like Alicia and me to be the best we could be. And if it were not for people like Melinda Gameau, like Alicia, like Scott Rubin, like George Cestero, like so many people in the family law section, I wouldn't be here today. Been very, very lucky, and I would encourage people to take advantage of opportunities. I tell young lawyers, do the thing that scares you. Do the thing that scares you, and you'll see how much it will change you for the better. And be there for other people, right? Be of service to other people because you get so much from that. It's almost a selfish thing for yourself, right? People don't realize that. But you see somebody who needs some guidance, offer it gently, kindly. Be the person that you would like your dog to be. People say that, right? That your dog thinks you are. Just
Well, and what's cool too about this program is because you're in this small group setting, you do really get this unusual opportunity for networking with like your group leader who is going to be either a judge or a lawyer or both. Well, obviously both, but a practicing lawyer and or judge. And so that's like a really neat opportunity to get to ask questions like one-on-one about some of these things if you're not sure about leadership or what your path is and what opportunities are out there. I followed a couple of different paths. Not everyone followed like what Laura and I are doing with more activity with the whole Florida bar, not just the family law section. And I think that's super important too. Figure out what you're passionate about and do it.
Well, thank you both so much for your candor, your inspiration, your encouragement, and for being here today.
Thank you,
Sure.
Amber.
Thanks for asking us. I'm always happy to try and bring other people with us. So it's a great opportunity to get to hope that we can hook somebody in.
Amen. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you all.
Bye.